King Togwaggle ain't looking too happy, but I think he'll be happy after he sees these cards. So we got Candle Breath. 6 cost rogue spell, draw 3 cards, cost 3 less while you're holding a dragon. Ridiculous value. Ridiculously good. Who doesn't want to pay 3 to draw 3? Because we are used to the base line of what Mage has given us, which would be Arcane Intellect. 3 cost, draw 2. So, for the exact same cost, you get to draw an extra card. Just because you have a dragon. Dragon's just kind of like chilling in your hand, just going, hey, remember I'm here? And you're like, you're right. I'm gonna pick up this extra card. You're gonna scare the opponent into letting me have more stuff. Ridiculously good card. I forgot to kind of look at what rogues have, so I don't necessarily know what the meta is for the rogue stuff right now. But I think this could easily go into a Glockrun / dragon rogue. Because it's just a good amount of value. Totally worth running dragons basically for this card. I give it 4 stars. It is ridiculously strong. Praise Glockrun. Give a minion +1 attack. Invoke Glockrun. So, invoking Glockrun for the rogue Glockrun is add a lackey to your hand. So you give a minion +1 attack, and you add a lackey to your hand for 1. Really good card. Minor effect besides the invoke. The invoke is a big part. Because there's a priest card that gives you a lackey into your hand that costs 0. So is giving a minion +1 attack worth 1 mana then? And honestly, I would argue yes, and I think this card is relatively decently valued for what it should be. So I give this 3 stars, 4 playable. It sits right at the perfect spot. Seal Fate. 3 cost, deal 3 damage to an undamaged character. Invoke Glockrun. This is very nitpicky on what you can really do with this. I think this is actually probably not the weakest invoke, but probably like the second weakest invoke. Well, I'm going to go third weakest invoke. There's 2 that are worse than this one. I honestly do not think this is a very good invoke card. It's pretty bad, honestly. Because, so invoking Glockrun, I'd say that is valued at about 1 mana. Okay, that's fair. Deal 3 damage to an undamaged character. You got Backstab, which does 1 less damage and does it for free. Dealing 1 more damage is not worth 2 mana. I honestly do think this card should be valued at 2 mana. Because it's kind of underwhelming for really where it is. Now, if it was deal 4, that point I think you could more argue it more. But 3 is not enough to make it cost 3. So, I give this 2 stars. It's bad. I wouldn't get rid of it, because if you really need invoke cards, you gotta keep it. Because you need some kind of invoke then, so you're gonna keep it around. So I give it 2. Umbral Skulker. I almost said Stalker. My bad. 4 cost, 3/3 Rogue Minion. If you've invoked twice, add 3 coins to your hand. So technically, because it gives you 3 mana worth of stuff, this is technically, if you've invoked twice, what was I even trying to say? I'm gonna really think about that. I don't even know. getting a little bit twist of the tongue here. But anyway, basically what it is if you invoked twice, this costs 1. So it's a 1 cost 3/3 is kind of how I look at it, which is really good. This card is actually very good, very strong. I give it 4 stars. I think it is a card that you should easily run if you are running Glockrun type of rogue. Glockrun Dragon Rogue, maybe. Dragon's Hoard. Discover a legendary minion from another class. Kind of a card for the Burgle type of rogue with the quest. Honestly, still don't... It's... I mean, you get to discover instead of just getting a random one, which is a little bit better, I guess. But even for how it goes, it's still not something that I think is completely worth it to run. Because would you rather discover a legendary minion from another class, or just run a card that you want? Let's be honest here. I mean, the reason that the quest does so well is you just play Clever Disguise. Clever Disguise is really good value. 2 costs get 2. That's just good stuff. This isn't amazing. I'd honestly give it 2. I'm going to give it 2 stars. Because I don't think there's really any kind of support for this. I don't get the point of it. I guess it's the rogue thing to take from other classes and stuff. But I think there's better options for burgling for the quest than using Dragon's Hoard. So, Necrium Apothecary. 4 cost, 2/5. Combo, draw a death rattle minion from your deck, gain its death rattle. Super good. I've heard ridiculous things that you could do with this. You could just friggin', as long as you're comboing, you can friggin' just draw a mechanical whelp. So let's say turn 3. You got to go second. This is turn 3. You coin out Necrium Apothecary. Opponent not going to have a fun time. Not at all. I mean, yes, you have to combo, but that's still not hard. Comboing really isn't that difficult. Super good. I give it 4 stars. You're freaking getting such good value out of this. It's easily going to go into probably a tempo rogue, I'm wondering. Because I don't think like a death rattle rogue would be like a thing or anything. I think kind of more like a tempo rogue would kind of... Probably any rogue would really run this. Run 2 mechanical whelps. That's the only death rattles you run. You can run any other type of deck then after that. My goodness. It's just good. I do say 4 stars. I'm sticking with that. Stowaway. 5 cost for 4 rogue minion. If there are any cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them. So this is kind of a card that you, of course, build your deck around, so you actually have stuff for it to draw. So, like, you got those Alex that shuffle stuff into your deck. You got academic espionage. The worst thing about this would be is if you have a few things shuffled in and your opponent has shuffled bombs into your deck. Technically, the bombs didn't start in your deck, so it might draw those. Okay, draw me some cards. That's a bomb. That's not fun. It's never fun. That's... Who wants to pay 5 to hurt yourself? It's just no good. So, it's not really a card that I think will get too much impact on the meta, But it's honestly a pretty relatively decently statted card. Relatively fair. So I give it 3 stars for being playable. Bloodsail Flybooter. 1 cost, 1/1. Battlecry, add 2 1/1 pirates to your hand. As I've said before, I don't think there is enough pirate support for Rogue. Therefore, I do not think that this is going to be in the meta at all. But I forgot how good of freaking value this is in the first place. That I was just thinking, oh, this card's garbage. It's just pirate support isn't a thing for Rogue right now. Get that crap out of here. Pirate is for the warrior right now, not the Rogue. But it's still good value. So even though I don't think it's going to be anywhere in this meta right now, it's still not a bad, it's still a decent card. It's got good value going for it. So I actually will give it 3 stars for being playable. Just because of the sheer amount of value that it does have. But probably will not be played. Because Pirate Rogue is not a thing right now. Good old Waxadread. 5 cost, 7/5 legendary dragon. With the Death Rattle, a Shuffle, a Candle into your deck that resummons Waxadread when it is drawn. Remember Malorn? Exact same stats. Costed 2 more. And the Death Rattle would shuffle it back into your deck, but you had to pay the 7 again. Yeah. This is just a ridiculously better version of it. This is another thing that Necrium Apothecary would actually love to grab as well. Another ridiculously strong card for the Rogue. So I honestly do think that this is going to get run pretty often with a lot of Rogues. Not sure if it's going to make its own deck. I don't think a Waxadread Rogue will be a thing, but I do very much think that this is a dragon that you run in Glockrun / Dragon Rogue. Very much. I give it 4 stars because it's ridiculously strong, super good, but Lauren is put to shame. Flink Skies Shiv. 6 cost, 4/4 legendary. Battlecry, destroy a minion and all copies of it. I've seen a video on this where if you kill a mirror image on the board, it also kills the spell of mirror image, which is kind of weird. Not sure if it's meant to do that, but it does. Anyway, super good tech card? I don't know if it's necessarily a tech card. I don't think it is. But decent. Very good. Great at getting rid of a big minion and another big minion if they had another copy of it somewhere. Like, let's say, I don't know, your opponent was playing Pogo Hopper Rogue. Oh, this just destroys Pogo Hopper Rogue. I'm so sad. Pogo Hopper Rogue actually sucked anyway. This makes it worse. Aw. Because you've got, like, let's say, like, you've shuffled in, like, 7 Pogo Hoppers into your deck. He kills all of them as long as you have 1 on the board. Oh my goodness. This just murders it. It's so sad. Aw. Oh my goodness. I will give it 4 stars for being very strong because it's super good at doing what it needs to do, which is get rid of something big that also gets rid of another big one that's in your deck. And now let's talk about the Glockrun for the Rogue, which is Glockrun the Nightmare in the bottom right corner. Starts off as Battlecry, draw 1 card, cost 0. If you invoke twice, it upgrades to the one right above it. Glockrun, the Apocalypse. Battlecry, draw 2 cards, they cost 0. And if you invoke 2 more times, you get Glockrun, Azeroth's End. Battlecry, draw 4 cards, and they all cost 0. And you equip a 5/2 Claw. No matter what form it's in, they all cost 7. They all give you 5 armor. Hero power will always be Glockrun's. Guild, add a lackey to your hand. Super strong card. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of Glockrun rogue that is going for like an OTK strategy where you play Glockrun to draw the 4 cards left in your deck that or like any of these like 3 cards that are used together to make an OTK combo, because if Glockrun hits it, it's free. And then next turn, you just do the OTK. Or something. I don't know if there's something like that possible for Rogue. I haven't looked too deeply into it. But it looks strong. It could be... Okay, let me think if I can think of anything. Just getting a bunch of Waxatrons. No, let's not do that. I don't know. Leroy... with maybe some other stuff, probably. Any type of charge stuff. There's some basic charge stuff, too, that you can even do. But I'm not sure. And then a lackey into your hand for 2. Totally reasonable. Totally nice. Totally would love to do that. Combos really well with Heist Baron Togwaggle as well. Oh my goodness. You don't even have to run any other lackey cards. You just need to invoke Glockrun, because that gives you lackeys. And then you can run Heist Baron Togwaggle, which was really powerful in Tempo Rogue. Oh my goodness. You could have so many lackeys with Rogue. Oh my goodness. That's going to be ridiculous. Hero power, you can get lackeys. You can get lackeys from Evil Miscreant. You can get lackeys from invoking Glockrun. Oh my, so many lackeys. Why is there so many lackeys? Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So many lackeys. Oh, I'm totally making that deck now. 100%. So many lackeys. What's the point of this deck? Just have millions of lackeys. Millions and millions of lackeys. Oh. Let me get back on track after getting absolutely blown away by thinking of how many lackeys there can be. So, Glockrun the Nightmare gets obviously 4 stars. Not 5, 4. Because yes, he creates the Glockrun deck, but I'm not 100% sure it's going to be viable. I know there is one Glockrun that is very much viable. And we will get to him another time, but not the next time. Because the next time we talk about Hunter, who does not have a Glockrun. Good old Baron, look at him. He's so happy to be holding his gun. Anyway, we will see you and Mr. Redbeard of Justice. I don't know. Redbeard of Justice. Bran himself next time. And he'll be happy to see ya.